Hey gang, welcome back to another Viewers Project update video. If you remember, Len Ekema had shown us his 1965 Caliente, and he had a variety of problems. I know he had issues with the roof line, or what would be considered, I guess, a C-pillar. He had issues with his door. He had a variety of things going on. And he has given me an update video. So let's take a look at Len's update.
Hey Barry, hey guys, this is Len Ekema. This is a follow-up video to my previous one on my 65 Cyclone build. And I'd like to, once again, thanks Barry for doing this for us all. I think this is a good opportunity for all of us to show what we got. But I'm just gonna go over the things I did, little projects here and there from the previous video that I showed, and just show you what I used, the tools I used, and how I did what I did. Okay guys, here's the basically the finished product, I guess you'd say, of what I've done so far. I'll just go over one by one the things that I did and what I did in the order I did them. And Barry's he's gonna interject some pictures that I'm gonna send and to show you the before and after shots and how it turned out. But basically right here, I think you guys may remember this from the previous video, how I had rust here in this quarter window sail panel area, and it was rusted through in spots, and I basically just cut out the rust and welded in new. I mean, basic fabrication pretty much, and worked with what I got and welded it in. And I'll tell you later the paint I used on this whole process, and we'll go from there. But anyway, that seemed to turn out fairly well. I'm not real concerned about those ugly welds. That's all going to be covered by the trim and the seals and whatnot. But yeah, you can see, and I'm also going to seam seal that before I put the seals on. But that took care of that problem, I hope. It's a lot better than it was anyway. And then this ugliness over here, I think you remember that as well. That was another spot that was full of filler. And as it turns out, there's a seam there, which I didn't know there were seams that high up on the roof. I know there's some down in here, but yeah, that was a seam. A lot of lead in there that I had to melt out, and there's still a little in there. But basically, once again, Barry's going to show pictures of the before and after of this whole project, this process, and basically it's going to be the same thing on the other side of the car. I've already kind of investigated that, and it looks the same over there as it does over here for the most part. So kind of getting my feet wet on what to do on this side, and hopefully on the other side I'll be a little more of an expert. But I think this turned out pretty well. I'm obviously going to have to use some filler. I still have some holes here in the rain gutter guard there. I'm not real concerned about that. That's covered up with trim. I did have another issue over here in the roof line that was rusted through, and pretty much made a patch, welded it in there. That's basically going to be covered with sealer, and the trim, that's all. It's kind of crooked in here, as you can see, but that's going to be covered with all the stainless trim that goes around the door frame there. I have to bend that back in, as you can see. I just bent it out. I think some of you guys suggested that I just cut that all off, do my repairs, and weld it back on. I may still have to do that. I don't know. I don't think so, but I just bent it back as far as I could so I could get the welding stick in there and fixed it that way. But that's pretty much all I've done so far. Took me a while to get all this done because, you know, I'm pretty much just making all my metal work is done with an anvil and angle iron and things like that. So that takes a while. Can't think of anything else I need to. Oh, the tools. The tools I used, I got over here. Got them all lined up here. Your basic tools, you know, your angle grinder, die grinder, and these two here are a recent purchase that I really like. And I think Barry's gone through these on some of his videos. This little mini belt sander here, this was great. If you guys don't have one of these and you do a lot of seams, welding, you know, grinding down the seams, or basically just grinding out the seams to pull metal off, for lack of a better term. That works out really well. And this little mini saw, this was amazing too, for the tight cuts, and you know, that thing just ripped right through the metal. Fantastic. And your basic die grinders and angle sanders for the welds, that worked out really well. And as far as the paint, I went with this epoxy, 2-part epoxy primer in a spray can. I'm a little leery of it, but I checked the reviews and it went on really well. I had to heat up the garage really well. Here in Michigan, it was in the single digits when I did this, so it took a day just to heat up the garage and get it to where I could work with paint. But I'm going to see how this works. It went on really nice. It's a 2K deal, and you just pop that little plunger down there and it activates the hardener, and shake it up real well. And if you can see, this is another shot of that area where I worked on, and I painted all through here. This whole window area was bare metal, and down the whole pillar here. I mean, it went on really nice. I'm really happy with the paint. We'll see how it lasts. I really didn't want to fire up my air compressor and my painting gun, and you know, have to go through all that just for this little bit. Hopefully that won't come back to bite me, but I've heard good things about this spray can paint, so we'll see how it goes. I think that's about it, guys. My next project is going to be, I'm sure you remember this door. Still experimenting, I guess you'd say. I haven't done anything with it, but my first project is going to be taking care of that mess. So I want to get that mounted on a table and go to town on that, and that'll probably be my next segment of my viewer project video for you guys to comment on and critique and whatever you want to do. But you know, I just want to get these things out and for you guys to look at and see what's going on here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. But with that, I think I'll end this video. And once again, if you guys have anything you want to add or share or comment to help me along with this process, that'd be great. But anyway, you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Len. I really like to see updates like this. You know, Len is taking the time to fabricate pieces for his car because, well, you just can't buy them, you know, or else you have to find another car to cut up to steal pieces from and rebuild yours. But he is, you know, doing it how he can with angle iron and an anvil and hammer and dollies and whatever, and making his own parts. That's fantastic. I know you're going to tackle that door and resolve that issue. I know that's going to be rewarding whenever you get that figured out. I think that that's going to be a really good project for you. Also, I want to say thanks for sharing that epoxy. I had not considered, a rattle can epoxy. I didn't know they came that way, but I'm glad you shared that. I've not used it, but I may consider it at this point. If anybody else has any input on that, by all means, share it with us and let us know what you think. Also, Len's asking for critiques. He's asking for advice or help or input. So if you have something, positive to say, by all means, share it with the video and the community at large, let's say. So anyway, thanks again, Len. Oh, and if you want to be on a Viewers Project video, send me an email, joedaddysgarage@gmail.com. We'll go back and forth and share some information and see if we can't put something together. But for now, that's it. So until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.